Hey, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Autistic Voice Project because some news dropped yesterday. We are recording this on September 23rd, and it will be uploaded on September 23rd. We'll get right on that. But on September 22nd, the President of the United States declared publicly that Tylenol causes autism, which is absurd. So I collected a whole bunch of people who are experts in autism, and we're going to have a discussion about that. Hi, people who are experts in autism. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'll start out. My name is Dr. Erin Findley. I'm a psychologist in Napa. Who'd like to go next?
Stacy can technically go next because even though your episodes were recorded a month ago, they haven't aired yet. So this is people's first introduction to you.
Hello, people. I'm Dr. Stacy Greeter. I'm a child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist. I'm at the practice in Sarasota, Florida, and I also see patients in Washington and Colorado. Happy to be here.
And good friend of the show, you've been on here a few times and will be on here a few more times that we've got planned. Who are you with your hat?
I'm Dr. Kade Sharp. I'm a licensed independent clinical social worker in Washington State with a telehealth endorsement for Idaho and a bunch of other certifications that we don't need to go into.
That's actually like 4 or 5 more qualifications than the people who made the announcement about the Tylenol. So congratulations on that. Although 5 times 0 is still 0, but you get the point. So, Rachel, who are you and why are you?
I'm not quite sure why I am. But my name is Rachel Kraus. I'm a clinical social worker in Maryland. I'm also licensed in Vermont and Massachusetts now.
Cool.
And that's what I got for you.
Awesome.
Nice.
And finally, last but not least, Kat, who are you and tell us about you?
My name's Flora. My pronouns are she, they. I am a master's in counseling education student at the University of Kentucky, and I also attend the LIND program through UK's Human Development Institute, HDI, and I try to involve myself in advocacy work as much as possible. And I'm also generally alive out of spite. It's what gets me up in the morning.
Nice. Nice.
It's a good motivator. I've heard good things about this LIND program, as you call it, and about its research and all that other stuff that we're currently doing about, autism, researching autism and suicide and all these other neat things.
It's so good, and there's so much practicum that I'm getting credits for, and I just have never been happier in school. So shout out to Matt for forcing me to go back into school. Some bullying is good.
Yeah. We're doing that right now with peer pressure to get more degrees. Everybody
Nice.
needs more degrees and more licensure and coverage.
Well,
So
I'm going to be Matt when I grow up, so.
I'm glad somebody does.
Are you working on your beard?
You
I was
know,
going to say, the University of Maryland, they're starting a doctoral program in social work next year.
Nice.
it's lit.
That's
Nice.
my master's alma mater, so.
Educational peer pressure. So all of you educated people who know more about the autism than the brainworm who lives inside the secretary of, I don't even know what he's supposed to be the secretary of.
Health and Human Services.
God, that's a misleading department, isn't it now?
It reminds
is.
me of
Oh.
the SpongeBob. I remember when they invented chocolates. I hated them. That's what's inside, like, running. Anyway.
So this is a podcast about autism. We start off with a SpongeBob quote, you say.
Of course.
People, you've come
Yeah.
to the right place. So my initial concept for this was to say, hey, what do you think about Kennedy and Trump asserting that acetaminophen causes
Otherwise
the
known as
autism?
Tylenol.
Tylenol is the thing that causes it. So yeah, it's it was just nonstop screaming. But I realized that there are a lot of people out there who might not understand how research is done, because there are a lot of people out there who say, why have the experts never considered the possibility that Tylenol might cause autism? And to that we say,
because Tylenol was invented after autism?
Ah, they
No.
invented autism first.
We actually have a large trial of like 2.5 million pregnant women in Sweden that did not indicate any link between autism and Tylenol.
That's a large
And
study.
it is a very large study. This study was not included in the quote review of multiple studies.
Well, it
That
wasn't generated by AI, and you know how Kennedy hates studies that
Right.
aren't generated by
They
AI.
also controlled for confounding by siblings. Okay, so then there was like a control for genetic relationships, which we know genes do play a big role. Autistic parents making autistic babies. And that was not controlled for in the study that the president was citing.
Yeah. Well, I was doing an
So it has
evaluation a
been
couple of weeks.
researched.
Yeah, yeah. I was doing an eval a couple of weeks ago, and with twins, and one had been identified with ADHD. The other was coming for an autism evaluation. We got into a conversation about how, with the twin studies, in theory, it might be possible for one identical twin to make the eye contact and to not get an autism diagnosis, while the other one does get an autism diagnosis. And it doesn't
Bro,
mean
what's
that
the
both
thing
twins.
with eye contact?
Yeah,
It drives me nuts. Who cares?
Because this is the thing
God.
about a lot of autism evaluations given by the strict DSM categories.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, specifically women, girls, people of color, trans people, that might be missed by a neurotypical evaluation because they made the eye contact or don't talk about trains or all the other weird stereotypes. So even then, with the twin studies, there's a wiggle room of error where somebody might not have a diagnosis despite actually being autistic. Because does a diagnosis make someone autistic?
No.
No, you say. Defend your position to the death.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that you have way before it's diagnosed. Like literal cancer, for example. Also ADHD. The diagnostic process and the tools that we have are literally tools. That is it. And I guess the disorder thing comes from, if you look at it from the social model, which is what I think we should all be the most interested in
What is the
as
social model?
laymen. So, in terms of looking at disability, there is this very eugenicsy model that we use in terms of like how doctors look at things. There's like a norm, a level of typicality for every category you could think of in terms
The
of
medical
like
model. Hmm.
yeah, in terms of eyesight, in terms of when you should start talking, all of these things. And the social model is more about how well are you functioning socially? Are you integrated into part of the community? And it doesn't have anything to do with how close or far away you are from typical. So the social model is more about well-being, and the medical model is more about eugenics.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
too, jumping off of that, Kat,
Yeah.
I don't know how much all of you caught of what RFK Jr. was saying, but he insists that there is no one in their 70s who has what he called profound autism.
What is that, you say?
And he described it as rocking and flapping and hitting your head on things, essentially, but I would like him to just pause for 1 minute.
And watch Mac rock in his chair.
Well, and like
You know,
think back
squiggling,
60, 50, 60 years ago, who do you think was getting diagnosed? And then if they showed those types of autistic traits, what do you think their life expectancy was? How do you think they
Yeah.
were treated? Why may we not know many 70-year-old autistic folks? Yeah, but also
Specifically the Kennedy family. I mean,
Yeah.
with the lobotomy and institutionalization and all.
Yeah. So I think everyone up on that stage last night was just looking through not only the medical model, but the most pathologizing and the most limited descriptors of what it means to be autistic.
Yeah.
And also a very cherry-picked set of data and the confusion between correlation and causation.
Yeah. Well, what is
Yeah.
that you say? What are these words, correlation and causation?
Yeah. So,
'Cause I know of people who have never heard of this, and they all died.
right. So the concept of correlation is that two things occur, simultaneously or in some kind of a relationship, right? So,
Well, they could
So
be in a
peop-
relationship, but it's not necessarily a causal relationship.
right. So causation is A causes B. So, me eating too much ice cream gives me a stomach ache. That's causal, right? Eating ice cream and shark attacks is correlational because shark attacks are more likely to happen during the summer when people also are more likely to eat ice cream, right?
There's that Superius correlation website that exists that shows like a bunch of random correlations that
Yes.
are not causation, if anybody's interested.
Yeah, and that can be a lot of fun to look at, like the random correlations that occur. There's not meaning there. There's no indication that those things are connected in any way. Rachel, were you going to say something?
I was going to
Go
say
ahead.
there's a subreddit as well. But I think, Kat, if you have any pulled up, it might be entertaining to hear a couple, because I have one right here in front of me.
What does yours say,
Oh,
Rachel?
Kat,
Oh,
You're
we've got a
muted. You're
studio
muted.
link.
Oh, I have Google searches for "that is sus" correlates with the Lululemon stock price.
Can you hear me?
It did some
Yeah,
of them. Yeah.
yeah.
Mine's
Yeah.
popularity of the dumb ways to die meme and the number of electronic engineers in Utah.
Nice.
Popularity of the first name Blanca and robberies in Texas. And like
Really?
very, very high correlations here.
I
Right.
think this is
Fascinating.
important in reproductive psychiatry. Yeah, I mean, this is really near and dear to my heart as a psychiatrist for pregnant people.
And you're also ADHD and a
Yes.
psychiatrist.
I'm
Two things at
ADHD
the
and a
same time.
psychiatrist. Did I not mention that? Sorry, I'm autistic and ADHD, FYI. But really,
And your parents took Tylenol.
probably.
Possibly.
What happens if only the dad
No,
takes
I mean,
Tylenol?
I think it's
Oh,
really
yeah. Dads are immune
important.
to autism, But
that-
anyway, as you were saying, Stacy.
Sorry.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Clearly, we're diverging, but the healthiest pregnancy outcomes come from psychologically, physically healthy moms who are taken care of, who are given medical care. And that includes both psychiatric treatment as well as physical health care.
But the president just said that women should suffer during pregnancy. What's your opinion on suffering?
Yeah.
It's
I
bad.
mean, well, that it does have a
Who's
lot
willing
of
to
negative
come out and say
outcomes.
that controversial topic that women's suffering is a bad thing?
It's giving refrigerator mother.
Ooh, what's that?
So I can't even remember who came up with it, but it's basically that a woman was like cold and not very motherly and warm to her child, hence refrigerator mother, and that's what causes autism. And then
I think that was Canner.
word, and then it kind of aligns with like a mother being too. If you're too warm, then you end up with a gay kid, right? So that's what happens. So everything's the
So
mom's
you
fault.
can't
So now
win
it's
either way.
well, who
Yeah.
knew that most of us autists
You are doomed to
gay,
have some
so-
sort of deviance of your child that is not a Christian. I don't know what's the opposite of me. I don't know. Somebody, one of those people that is socially acceptable by people who are socially acceptable. How dare you?
They're that square peg in that square hole type
Yeah.
of situation. But
Yeah,
I just,
yeah.
it's blaming the mothers, and it's really upsetting back like as to what Stacy was saying is like that mental and physical health, they all encompass well-being, and that's what she was saying, like
And-
produces the most healthiest children. And when you shame mothers for taking Tylenol, for giving their kids vaccines, for being too cold, it creates this really shameful environment for the mother to live in, and who pays for that? The whole family, including the child. So
I'm always saying if more women got good mental health treatment, including psychiatric medication during pregnancy, then I would have less child patients to see. Because yes, it really does roll downhill, and I imagine there's a lot of really scared, really guilty, ashamed people out there right now. And my heart really goes out to them. Of course, not all medications are going to be safe during pregnancy, right? But really understanding confounding by indication, which basically means, for example, with Tylenol, someone takes Tylenol maybe because they have a serious infection and they have a fever, right? So is it the Tylenol that caused the issue, or is it the indication for which they took the Tylenol, like a serious infection? And
yeah, do you want to have an infection for the rest of your pregnancy? See how good that is for your kid.
That tends to shorten pregnancies.
Jesus. Yeah.
And I'm hoping we can shift more from let's try to find some kind of magic bullet to, quote, solve the autism problem, and shift away from that and towards how do we actually help autistic people and their loved ones live fulfilling, meaningful lives.
So as a psychiatrist, how would you cure the autism?
Yeah, I would not.
Oh, would you not?
It's the short answer. No.
Oh, really?
I would not cure the autism.
Tell us about the inherent value of human life, and perhaps that autistic people are the people.
Yeah. I think that it's tough because people get really stuck in their own perspective, and it's hard to see other perspectives, other neurotypes as having value and meaning, and different things that are regulating for them and different things that are fulfilling for them. So I'm always trying to help as much as I can, invite people, autistic people as well as their loved ones, into understanding the value of an authentic and fulfilled autistic life that's going to look different than an holistic life.
I was going to say that divisiveness that occurs between like self-advocates and parents is really killing me, because I think that we really all want the same thing. We just come from different camps.
I'm not so sure about that.
And it's not all parents. Also, I want to say that. You know,
no, it's
Rachel has raised her hand.
Oh, Rachel.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I didn't know we could do that on here. Neat.
We can. I was just going to say, in DBT, or dialectic behavior therapy, which is what I practice.
Oh, by the way, Rachel and Amara Burke have created autistic-specific DBT. So I'm peer pressuring her into coming on the podcast and talking a lot about it at some point. Not to call out the social anxiety, but you're doing a lot of neat stuff, and I think people should know about it. Kat invented the term expectation sensitivity. Rachel invented autistic DBT. Go on.
I can take credit for inventing any of it, but I definitely, Mara and I are working to help get the understanding out there. But I was going to say, we talk a lot about this Buddhist concept of suffering. You had brought up suffering and wanting people to suffer.
Have you tried just suffering?
How it is kind of having pain or having discomfort or distress, and adding in the denial of that distress. If I just try harder, I'll do this the right way, or I'll be, I'll be just like everyone else. When we deny that, we deny that can't happen the way that it's going to happen, that's what prolongs the suffering, right? So when someone's in pain, we look at the pain and we treat the pain. If someone is not effective in what they're doing, if I can't get to said goal effectively, if I can't mask a certain way so people, don't know about something, it's time to do it differently, because it's not working.
But you got to take the magic flying car to Hogwarts instead of running into the wall.
I
said you got to take the magic flying car to Hogwarts even if it's a bumpy ride, instead of running into the 9 3/4 brick wall repeatedly.
For those
Harry
listening,
Potter
this is an
reference,
autistic
sorry.
podcast where we all talk over each other because
Sorry.
this is the way.
I think they only hit the wall twice before
No, I
they
know, but
are.
that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't keep trying to hit the wall.
Yes.
But there are some parents out there who have a lot of internalized issues of their own and want their kids to be this mythical normal instead
Well,
of being themselves.
What I mean by we all want the same thing is that the parents want their kids to be happy and comfortable, and so do I. We just have different methods and ideas about the possibility of that and how we're going to get there. And I don't know what people think they're going to do when they've already had their kid and their kid's already autistic. And I think generally we all know, like, that's not going to go away. But at the heart of it, they want their kid to be comfortable and happy. I would say, I don't have statistics, but 99%, because they love their kids and they feel like they're fighting the autism because it's hurting their kids so bad, but they've not been connected to resources in which their kid can be happy, and that community is important, and that well-being is important, and that the, whitewashed eugenicsy norm is, like, not generally what works for most people. So that was my thing about what we all.
This is the part where I plug Megan and Jules' book, I Will Die on This Hill, Autistic Adults, Autism Parents, and the Children Who Deserve a Better World.
And I
if you
think
haven't
that
read this book, it is fabulous, and it addresses, Kat, a lot of what you're talking about. And it does it, using not just their two voices, but many, many different voices of people with all different kinds of lived experience. And it's just a wonderful book. Clearly, I have read it a few times.
Word.
And I think that between the fact that we're getting ready to have a live Zoom call about this and the fact that you've brought that up to where it's a combination of a resource for parents of autistic children and autistic parents of autistic children, that is a good place to leave today's discussion and promote further exploration into the issue. But we would like to have all of you back in various capacities over the next few weeks because we have Kade on the schedule for more recordings in the near future. Stacy will appear very soon on episodes we've already recorded because we live in a time that is neither past nor present nor future. It's somewhere in between timey-wimey stuff. I'm still trying to get Rachel to come back, and I will poke you with a stick until you do. And Kat will be back on at some point relatively soon too. So we will see all of you very soon and hope that you stay safe from all of the strange accusations and the mystical forces out there that may or may not cause the autism. Have a great one.
Hang in there, everyone.